I have nothing to say, but wow. We have a lot to talk about. Oh, Lord have mercy. What's up, everyone? My name is Rapha Conrad, also known on YouTube as RandomRapha, and I'm your host for Wandering Through the Wonderhole, the show that we discuss, react, and share our predictions / theories about Rhett and Link's wonderful beyond wonderful show, Wonderhole Season 2. Now, I do want to acknowledge something. Maybe you notice it, maybe not, hopefully. If I sound deeper than usual, kind of like when I said theories in the beginning, or sound a little bit stuffed up, I am getting over a nasty sinus infection, and it was so nasty that it really knocked me out this past week, hence why I was not able to upload this episode as promised, even though I said in last week's episode that I was going to premiere from now on every single Wednesday. Well, that didn't happen, and it's not what you think it is. Apparently, where I'm currently living at, wow, I'm adding extra syllables. Where I'm living at, there's somewhat of a drought, and there's this ragweed that's going around. Like everyone else has been coughing and sneezing, like me, what I've been going through, but mine was so bad that I was just like, I can't function. I feel so lightheaded, but it's better late than never, and I'm going to keep up this purpose of trying to share with you my predictions and thoughts and theories about Rhett and Link's Wonderhole Season 2, and of course, and this is what I love about the series, that it's not connected, that no matter which video you watch or how long has it been, you get to watch it at your own pace. And if you're seen episode 4 and you're watching this series, you came to the right place. Unless if you've not seen it whatsoever of the current season of Wonderhole, I will talk about some spoilers in this. So this is really good reason why you should watch the series before you watch my post-show series. But with that being said, let's carry on with today's episode, which is quite special. I have seen this not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. Yes, I saw it when it premiered on YouTube every Sunday, but I did see it way in advance on the Mythical Society, which if you want to see it firsthand, early access, ad-free, plus some behind the scenes content, click the link down below to sign up and get 25% off your first subscription. I saw it way in advance about a month ago. How has it been a month? Time is going by way too fast. I saw episode 4 along with episode 1 at the premiere in LA last month. I will talk about it, but seeing this episode in particular was quite an experience. I will try my very best to talk about it without losing it in this. Speaking about review, I did this last week where I put myself through the test to see how much I can share my thoughts, my review on last week's episode in a certain amount of time. I was very impressed with that, but I don't want to push myself too hard. I want to take this very easy. I just want to make it very smooth because, I mean, this is like, I'm premiering this like a week after it premiered, episode 4 premiered. So I'm just going to take it easy with this one, but possibly next week I'll probably see if I can reach my goal. Probably make it less than usual next week's episode, but which is why it's a good reason why you should subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you can be the first to look out for a new episode, which will premiere next Wednesday. But without further ado, let's go back into the Wonderhole. In case you've forgotten, the theme for this season is clickbait and switch. And right off at the start of episode 4, we see Rhett and Link are about to do this storage wars type of thing. This is a common style for our creators where they find something that is completely abandoned or something that is very cheap or something that is completely worthless, and they try to make something great out of it or worth more than it originally was. And we see Rhett and Link are about to open this abandoned storage unit that supposedly cost $5,000. And right off the bat right there, I already caught some references if you are a hardcore Mythical Beasts fan of Rhett and Link, you may have caught this, and there were quite a few that I noticed throughout this episode. And I know there is a reference, a song that has this, but when Link says, "I like it when you call me Big Papa," it brought back this memory, which I'm going to say this, the word or phrase for this is either references or core memory unlocked. And when Link said, "I like it when you call me Big Papa," it reminded me of the sketch they did back in 2015 called Camping, where they said this.
"Do you love it when it calls you Big Papa?"
Also, this is totally irrelevant, but like the shirt that Link was wearing, it was like, oh yeah, that's the same shirt that he wore when I met him at VidCon in 2018, so yeah. And they find, as I mentioned in the react video to their trailer, where they were opening boxes, and this was the scene where it came from, this episode before, where they opened boxes that were completely taped up, closed, and they're empty inside. I guess it's their own take of the unboxing videos. But there are other stuff inside, like stuffed animals, and they find these puffer fish, this blowfish ornaments, which this another reference, but it's not like you can easily catch on a little bit. There was an episode they did on Good Mythical Morning where it's their own version of this Japanese game show where you have a box and there's stuff inside, but you have to guess what it is by using your feet. And I remember it was Rhett putting his feet in a box filled with blowfish ornaments, and I remember Link going like this, and I thought, oh yeah, that's a very subtle reference for those hardcore Mythical Beasts fans out there can recognize. But I just don't know why, when Link is holding it and he starts crushing them, I mean, say along with me, people.
Classic Link move!
They continue in their own merry little way, finding out what's in the boxes, and they found a lobster, and I, along with some Mythical Beasts that commented on the episode on YouTube, caught a reference from based after the lobster, inspired by, again, another subtle reference from the fish market episode they did way back then.
Did somebody say lobster? Lobster!
As they continue with their search in this abandoned storage unit, supposedly cost $5,000, trying to figure out how to make it $10,000, they find these pack of posters that says the Institute of, what was it? Hold on. Compatible Relationships. And this is very interesting. I noticed it when I watched it again on YouTube, the posters. When I was at the premiere in LA, and some people that attended the premiere in Seattle noticed this as well. I remember as I was like, I think I was trying to head into the theater, leaving the lobby because I was trying to get into my seat. I remember seeing this poster on the wall of, I thought it was like an ad for like health insurance or something, and there was these people smiling and cheerful on the poster right there, not knowing that it was the same poster that was used in that episode. And I remember going through this group chat, someone said like, yeah, I saw this poster in LA, and then someone said they saw it in Seattle, and when they recognized it, that was used in episode 4, that was just a little bit of an Easter egg, a little bit of hint of what to expect on episode 4. And if you were there, there was this QR code where you can scan it, and it was linked to that same episode. Continuing on, Rhett and Link, very curious to find out what this place is about, so they head over to the Institute. And speaking of the Institute, I did a little bit of investigating, and I saw this video floating around. It was under the tag videos on Mythical account of this organization that just started about a week ago before this episode premiered on Sunday. And I want to show you a back-to-back comparison of the logo used in the episode into what this logo is of this certain organization, which is called Anew. And they look very similar, but I want to share you this video of what I saw because very interesting.
For the 1000th time, this is not a butt plug. Apparently, it's identical to the latest Wonderhole fake company. Rhett and Link, my internet dads, y'all have been more present in my life than my actual father. So I can't be mad at you for this. That's not fair. You didn't know. Nobody knows we exist. We literally launched the week before this episode came out. But it feels like destiny that the week this episode comes out, the week we announced that we're building the world's first social health company. We're a small team. We just raised money. We're tackling the loneliness epidemic. And I would love nothing more but to find some really cool and creative things to work on together. Even if that means selling a product that this definitely doesn't look like.
I'm not sure what this phenomenon is on, because this is very common for creatives and artists where it'd be like, oh, you just stole my work. And but like, they're not there to see your work, or you probably don't know them or something like that. I think there's like this thing where like artists have like the same idea. It's not called pigeonhole theory, but like, I think there was this other theory when I was researching called the birthday party theory, where basically if you invite people to come to your birthday party, you tell them to bring a gift, and let's just say 27 people showed up with a gift, but there is like one chance or maybe two chances someone will bring the same gift as this certain person. I think you probably had to search it out for myself, but that's what I just saw about, like, there's a chance that probably 2 people or 3 people may bring the same gift. I remember they filmed this episode earlier this year, and they come up with a design, and then this organization that did not know about it, and then they had a very similar design right there. So yeah, very interesting right there. But moving on, right when Rhett and Link head into the Institute, we're introduced to the first character, Teddy, played by Avery McClure. I, along with everybody else, fell in love with his character, and I mean, very helpful. I don't know why I put down in my notes that it reminds me of the sidekick from Madagascar, the henchman, the sidekick to King Julian or something like that. It gave it that energy, like, you know, like very smart, but then there's that situation's like, oh, I want to help this person. And I think I remember overhearing someone, because this character Teddy is like very helpful and, you know, assistant, receptionist, and he wants a friend. And I remember hearing like, I can be your friend. I mean, like, oh.
Community is key. If you don't love the people who are around you and they're not lifting you up, you got to get out. Community is number one, right?
That's right. You need somebody to lie down next to.
Meet you where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Or just be slightly below you on the floor.
Yeah, just calibrate yourself to good people in your life.
With Sid and Olivia playing Kate and Kate, which I wish I paid attention which Kate Sid play and which Kate Olivia play, because it's Kate with a K and Kate with a C. Very clever right there. And I've said this a few times in this series, and I think I'll say it again. The casting for this series, up to another level right there. Sid and Olivia, they're basically like giving the same Rhett and Link energy. I mean, like they're best friends, great energy, and like the connection and the flow, all that jazz at the hands. Oh, superb.
Hey, we're Sid and Olivia.
And we're Rhett and Link.
Oh, I can't believe we got that name.
We're Sid and Olivia. And we're Rhett and Link.
That's right.
There we go.
Actually, no, I think it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're Rhett and Link this time. We're Link. We're Rhett and
Sid and
Olivia.
As we're going to the Institute, we see that this is just basically a place to see how, like, their relationships, you know, for anyone that wants to test to see if their friendship is really, really good. And that's the reason why Rhett and Link are there. And they go into the first test, where they enter this room, and there is a cookie. For someone that has not familiar with the mythical universe, but for us mythical beasts, we already figured out right away. And once again, core memory unlock / references. In case you've forgotten, those are the words for this episode right here. We immediately remember the episode that he did way back then on Good Mythical Morning, which was the Extreme Would You Rather Challenge, and Rhett Mama Bird the jellyfish into Link's mouth. But this time it's reversed, and Link, he Mama Bird the cookie that he chewed up into Rhett's mouth. I'm still grossed out by it, but during the premiere, I mean, there's just something about like seeing the same thing in a room filled with mythical beasts, and they're hearing the screams and then the laughs right there. And of course, I'm front and center at the screening. Like literally, I'm just like in the front, in the center. I'm looking up when all this is happening, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. I mean, like, you cannot believe it's happening, but it's happening, people. And it was just like, yeah, they're absolutely best friends. But until Kate said, oh, well, we could say that you're really good friends, but until you just mama bird that cookie, that was totally wrong. We got to continue testing. And they go head over to the next test, which they thought it was some type of test to see how close and caring they are. Okay, this is a part where I'm trying my best to keep myself together because, okay. So I said in the react video to the trailer that, especially where the scene where they're really, really close, I gave my, what I call the naked theory. And I'm just going to reiterate, simplify a little bit. So in season 1 of Buddy System, the clone version of Rhett and Link were naked. And in season 2 of Buddy System, Rhett is naked while Link is singing a song that he doesn't want to be naked. Totally ironic right there. But in what they consider Wonderhole season 0, the videos that they posted in 2023, during their episode where trying to get a chicken, Chloe, to cross the busiest highway in America, but Link, in their song, the egg song, Link is completely naked and sitting inside a giant egg. And we kind of expected it was going to happen again in season 1 of Wonderhole, but we kind of just had a little bit of what to expect in episode 5 of season 1 of Wonderhole, where Rhett and Link are spooning in the red and blue room right there. They did say, Rhett and Link said in the after show for their the Mythical Kitchen's live event, Survive or Escape the Mythical Kitchen, where they said that they were going to do something that is totally new, way out of their comfort zone, but is a test on their friendship. And that's when I predicted, like, yep, they're going to get close and they're going to get naked. So that's why, like, I was still surprised that, like, my prediction came true. And, okay, story time. Earlier this year, I went to North Carolina to film some scenes for the documentary film for the community. Visit projectmythicalbeastfilm.com to find more about it. But I was in Raleigh, North Carolina with some mythical beasts and close friends of mine, and we were at this park, and we brought our Rhett and Link action figures right here, and we decided, oh, maybe we should do like a little photo shoot with these action figures at the park. And I remember, I don't have the picture, but I remember one of them decided to put Rhett and Link like this. And if you ask my friends, they can prove this to you because they were at the event as well. But when that one scene where Rhett and Link are standing like this, and I remember just looking over my friends over there on the same aisle I was, and it was like, yes, we basically predicted what Rhett and Link are going to do. I mean, I just want to share that with you because it is totally funny. We just prophesied, we just predicted, we called what was going to happen. I have to say, if you've seen the episodes where they had Cuddle Queen Jean on episode of Good Mythical Morning where Rhett and Link had to be really, really close, I think they did in the where they try and test to see the best cuddling positions. And of course, they had to do that with the cockroaches. And they did an episode a little bit later about trying to figure out what cuddling positions are these. I think it was in 2021, I think. Those times when Cuddle Queen Jean was there were really, really helpful because they were really close. Also, that one part where they're just on the cold, cold floor and they're spooning. This is, if anyone are like real hardcore mythical beasts, remember there was this movie called Dirty 30, which featured Grace Helbig in it. And there's this one scene where Rhett and Link are playing like these characters, and the scene where they're on the couch and they're spooning. And then Rhett's the big spoon, and then But in this episode, we see now Red is the little spoon and Link, I'm losing it. Link is the big spoon now? I don't know why Link put his hand on Red's neck. I mean, oh, and when at the premiere, again, there's just something about being with a group of people watching the same thing and love the same thing as you do is so magical. I mean, magical is not even the right word, but like hearing the laughs, and I'm just literally like this. I told Rhett and Link that it's like, I'm literally like cuddling up right here, having my legs up, and I'm just moving around, just like crying nonstop because of that. And remember, I'm sitting in front, in center, very close to the screen, and Rhett and Link, unclothed, trying to keep themselves warm. No comment. So they tried to do this test, or so they thought, until Teddy knocks on the window and says, "Oh, are you okay? Do you need some more time?" And then Rhett and Link are just like, "Oh, that was not the test." And I mean, classic cinema right there, or just classic comedy, whatever it is. They go into the official second test and supposedly testing to see if they can work together through pressure. And of course, with like, there's a baby doll and a box or something like that, a case, and it's being waterboarded, and they have to figure out something where they're like, Link has to tell Red, just like, okay, the key, just trying to figure out what key it is to set the baby doll free. And it's so ironic because I just watched the episode where there's this game, this sub-series, which is possibly one of my favorite sub-series they've done on Good Mythical Morning, where they had to figure out what this doodad, this gadget is, what's its use, and they go over to the little mini mart to find which supplies or necessities or things that makes this gadget work, and just the pure chaos right there, chaotic energy. But then when they say, "Oh, we just need to calm down," that moment when like Link says like, "Okay," and I'm talking about the episode 4, where Link says like, "Okay, it's an S shape," and then it's like, Rhett goes, "Rhett, hey, you don't you realize that every time that we get so chaotic, it doesn't turn out, we just need to be nice and calm." And I'm thinking like, guys, that baby doll is going to drown. You don't have time for this. And like, but then they slowly continue talking, and then all of a sudden Link is talking about his gay uncle. I mean, he doesn't have a gay uncle, but like, you know, if Buddy System Season 3 exists, there would be a parallel universe or another multiverse where Link in another life has a gay uncle. But they go into this conversation, and just letting you know, this is totally improvised. I mean, they confirmed that they do have an outline and like what they're going to say, but it's totally improvised. But I just like wondering like, where is this going? And then at the same time thinking in the back of my head, it's like, guys, pick the right key, get that baby doll set free. Oh wait, too late. Because as soon as like they realize, it's like, oh, we got, which key is it? And then all of a sudden it's just like, rest in peace, baby doll. They've been reprimanded by Kate and Kate, saying like, is this a joke to you? You failed this test. I don't think you're actually true friends. Now, that part right there, okay. So we already know for this series, I already said in the beginning that the theme is clickbait and switch. But whether season 2 or season 1, they're trying to go into see what they can do with their creativity, but it is about their friendship. As proven in episode 2 of this season, there will be some moments where it just pulls on your heartstrings. And I don't know why, maybe some viewers notice this, that when they say like, you're just not best friends at all, it pulled on my heartstrings because, and I, not only because I'm a huge fan of Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning, but I'm also have done some research and working on a documentary film about their fans. I have seen so many posts and videos and comments, a lot of just like negative comments from others that say, oh, Rhett and Link are just putting on this friendship thing as for show, for the clicks, for the views. They're not actually friends. They just put it on for a show. Then, I mean, come on. And of course, like, I know, and some mythical beasts know, that they've been friends for now 41 years. And just seeing how they go. But like, I like it that they use that bit, that idea, something that is really real, but in this scripted series of they go through this ordeal of dealing with the trolls or the naysayers saying like, you're not best friends, you're just putting on for a show and all that. I mean, like, if you want to listen to a true testimony of like what friendships are, I mean, there's so many videos even they talk about on their podcast, and of course you can just feel their friendship in their series. Or if you've met Rhett and Link, you can just feel that energy, feel the vibes. But I put down a link to their podcast that they did with Rich Roll right there, where there's just one part, I don't want to give it away, but there was just like one part that's just like, that is true friendship right there. So go check it out. Put the link in the description down below. That part where Kate said like, yeah, you failed this test. The best way you should do is just not talk to one another. That scene where they just pan to where Teddy is holding the gift certificates to, well, it's their own version of Shake Shack right there. And we just see like this dramatic scene where they're thinking like, maybe we're not best friends. I mean, maybe we should just like, forget about this, and just like going through like the supposed new reality, which doesn't last, thank God. And we just see the scene where Rhett takes Link to LAX because he mentioned a few times in this, the reason why is he has to attend his uncle's funeral. And that's why he's taking a red eye. When Link is leaving, and then all of a sudden, plot twist, he comes back to the car. It's like, you know what? We are best friends. Let's go back to the Institute and do that final test, which, if you saw earlier in this episode, they were passing by this room where you hear all the shrieks and the screams, supposedly the last test of this friendship test right here. And they decide to break in, which Link used the same wrench they used to open the abandoned storage unit to enter inside the Institute. And they go in, and we see that there's these two chairs, supposedly hooked up to some wires, basically like electric chair in some way, and these dials. So basically they have to test out like if they can come up with the same number, they're good, but if one doesn't match with the other, I think it's supposedly the higher the number, the opposite person gets that same voltage on that side, and vice versa. And we just see them, pure comedy, pure classic comedy where they don't agree with each other and one gets shocked than the other. I don't know why. I put down in my notes right here that another reference, Core Memory Unlock, it kind of reminds me of this episode they did on Good Mythical More, which I'll put the screenshot of the thumbnail right there, where basically they put on these bands and they have this ball and they have to try to work together to like, and not work together, probably going against it, trying to get like this ball move over to the opposite side of where they are. There's no connection, but it just kind of reminded me of that. When they dial in the numbers, it's like, okay, think of a special number. And Rhett chose 84, which is the year they first met in the first day of first grade, 1984, when Link typed in 69, which is a very common number on Good Mythical Morning. Say it with me, people.
Classic Link mode.
Go through the pain of trying to get it right. But this is the thing that like got my gears going. When they typed in the number, supposedly matched, but I don't think they matched at all. But then I watched it again, it's like maybe they did match. Because when they typed in the numbers, dialed in the numbers, and we see the lights getting brighter, and we hear this big boom right there, thinking that they're going to get it right or they're going to suffer more. But all of a sudden, it completely stops right when the door opens and we see Kate and Teddy and the police right there. It just made me wonder, did they complete the test or were they about to fail? I don't know. Well, what'd you think about that? Comment down below. I thought about it as like, oh, maybe they did fail but abruptly stopped, and I think again, it's just like, oh, it's just like that build up type of thing is like, oh, you're going to get it right, you're going to get it wrong. Oh, you got it right there. Another reference, and and they just did this recently, but they done an episode on Good Mythical More where they have that lie detector test where it's this toy where you put your hand on it and then, you know, you ask them a question and they detect to see if that person who has the hand on the lie detector toy right there, see if they're telling the truth, and then the lights go up and music is going, and if it dings, they tell the truth. If they don't, they get shocked. I mean, I don't know, but what do you think about that? So, a few minutes pass by, supposedly, and Rhett and Link are arrested. And the police tell the people at the Institute, Kate, and Teddy, Link told the police that Rhett is innocent, and Rhett told Link is innocent, vice versa. And they go to jail, unless they're released on bail. But then, light bulb moment for Kate, which earlier in the episode, as they were explaining to Rhett and Link about the test, you know, like what is the levels of like true friendship right there, and they don't know what 100 is, and then they realize, oh, they took the fall for each other. True sacrifice, true friendship right there, you know, if one falls, the other falls, you know, or like that line from season 1, episode 2, like if you go, I go with you. Kind of like the same effect. And of course, true representation of their friendship. They put the note on the test. Kate and Kate said like, yep, if you took the fall for each other, you already passed the test right there. That is like 100% right there. So, and that basically how it ends out. Of course, with poor Teddy, where he found out that he has a discount right there, but he just needs a friend. I mean, I'll be your friend, Teddy. Before I wrap up this episode, it's time for this week's ranking. Now, I am going to be real here. This was very tough to rank, and I'll explain why. Yes, it was completely off the rails, I mean, especially with certain scenes in this episode, but it kind of had the same energy as last week's episode 3, that friendship adventure, go on this joyride in an 18-wheeler, that kind of gives that vibes of watching The Hangover, or what is that movie that has Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis? Hold on. Due Date, that one. But still, that energy, that friendship adventure vibes right there where it goes a little bit off the rails. It kind of reminds me that if you were watching episode 3 of Wonderhole season 2, it's kind of like you're watching The Hangover, but then you watch this episode 4, you're watching the sequel, like Hangover 2, which means that still the same energy, but goes a little bit off the rails, a little bit more insane, but still have those friendship, let's go on adventure type of vibes right there. Very clever with the references and of course the casting and just like the flow of it right there. I did say this was very tough to rank right there. With that being said, I am just going to rank, please don't cancel me for this. I am just going to make episode 4 tied for first place. So that means episode 3 and episode 4 is tied in first place, leaving with episode 2 in second place and episode 1 in third place. I don't like to do ties, you know, the tie is scored right there, but I'm going to ask you, what do you think deserves the number 1 spot? Comment down below which one should be in the number 1 spot and which one should be the number 2 spot, unless when episode 5 is out, up and running, it could change, but comment down below, let me know what you think should deserve the number 1 spot, and then I will announce the official number 1 and number 2 spot on next week's episode, which premiere on Wednesday. Also, feel free to comment down below your thoughts and predictions on this episode in the series by far. And if you enjoyed this episode, click that like button. It really does wonders. Also, if you want to be the first to see a new episode of the series, plus brand new content premiering very, very soon, make sure you subscribe and click that bell. And if you want even more content created by yours truly, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Rapha Conrad. Thank you so much for watching today's Wondering and Wondering Through the Wonderhole. My name is Rapha Conrad, also on YouTube as RandomRapha, and I will see you, for real this time, next Wednesday, and a little bit better than I am right now. No nasal congestion or anything like that, all well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep on wondering and wondering. Bye!